Hey friends, it's Manjula from Manjula Tarot. It's been a while since I've created a video. I was on holiday for the last couple of weeks, spending time with my partner and my family and friends. And I actually just needed a break, to be honest. And now that it's January and we're approaching the Chinese New Year with the fire horse, I feel a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. And there's also a lot of intensity going on with this new year. Probably a lot of you have been paying attention to the news, and I won't go into all of that. But I wanted this video to talk a little bit about this idea of protecting your mindset, especially as you enter this new year. You might have new goals for yourself, and it's really easy to get thrown off your momentum by looking at the news, looking at social media, feeling this sense of overall hopelessness that's going on right now. And what I have to say about that is that it's good to be informed about what's going on in the world and to follow headlines, but when it interferes with you and your spiritual purpose and your mission to bring out to the world, it's really hard to justify getting back on social media, indulging in the news and the gloom and doom scrolling, all of that stuff. I think it's really important to feel empathy, concern, compassion, feel the feelings, feel anger, feel rage, feel sadness, feel that depression. But eventually we have to come out of it fighting for our rights, for the world. But on a deeper level, I personally feel like it's a time for tapping into the spiritual. All the things that are happening right now in the news, in the world, it's going to keep going. And this is part of, in my opinion, the delusion of this planet and the physical world. And in tarot, the physical world is represented by pentacles. But what's really interesting is that we have four suites and they're all connected to different elements. So we have the pentacles, which is the physical world, your career, and your physical body. But there's more than just the physical world. And I think when, people share these videos or newsreels about how the world is turning to shit and there's just so much pain and suffering, you get caught up just in the physical world instead of looking beyond that. Like, what are the lessons that we can learn in resilience and in helping each other, building local community connections instead of focusing on things that are out of our control? And so, my mission right now through my tarot practice and my spiritual practice is to empower people to feel their own resilience and bravery and speak up when needed, but also know that this is Maya, this is an illusion. This is just all of this distraction to keep us from tapping into our spiritual selves and that deep core inner knowing, which are other elements, fire, water, air, are three other elements beyond earth, the physical. So I think it's really important right now that we all come together in community, in spiritual community, support each other through these difficult times and this difficult transition that all of us are going through, but realizing that it is a spiritual transition and it's kind of forcing us to go beyond thinking about the physical body and to think about, well, what is beyond this world? Because if you just think that the physical world is the only thing that exists, you're going to get super depressed. And I've been there. I've experienced a lot of depression in my life ever since I was a teenager or even younger. And I was bullied a lot when I was a kid and went through a lot of pain and suffering. And now that I'm in my 40s and I have a better perspective on myself and my life, I realized that I had to go through all of that suffering and that pain to connect to my spirit and my sense of spirituality, goddess, and what's beyond this body. Because when I die, my soul is going to continue. And if you don't believe in anything, you don't have to be part of organized religion to believe any of this. You can have your own spiritual practice and believe in your higher self or higher power. It doesn't have to be connected to this word God. But I think it's so important right now that we band together to remember our spirit and remember who we are and remember that we are not, our US government. We are not, just like these people that are pawns to this game of capitalism and the government and corruption of power and, all of the things, the despairing, pay differences between men and women or the rich and the poor. And so I think it's really important right now to get into your body, to really be present with yourself, to take time away from social media. Like recently, I've been actually putting my phone away at 10 o'clock. I have an alarm on my phone to put it away and charge it in a different room altogether so that I can wind down for the next hour and just have time for myself to detox. And so if you need a detox, I give you full permission. Let me pick a card from my tarot deck here to see what wisdom is out there for us as I bring up these topics. And it's probably been on your mind too. Yeah, a lot of heartache going on. So much pain, so much grief, so much heartbrokenness. I feel heartbroken too. It's not that I'm trying to do this spiritual bypassing. It's really, really important to feel the grief, the suffering, the pain, the injustice, the anger. But you can't live in this space all the time. You can't live in a heartbroken space because that's devastating. That's not going to help your mission or your cause. What helps is actually having joy and really bringing that joy to people. So I think it's good to feel the feelings, but can't live in that space. So what else does the tarot have in regards to this? It's very emotional too, emotional time. The moon is all about the emotions, but you see these wolves here, they're like howling at the moon. There's this little guy, I think he's a lobster or crab. He's coming out of the water, causing some havoc. So there is a lot of intensity going on, and we just had a full moon actually this past Friday. So this in conjunction with this makes a lot of sense to me because we have the heartbreak, we have the emotions that are all over the place. And it's so, so difficult to get in control of your emotions, especially when you're spiraling. So I don't blame anybody for being in that space. But I really encourage all of you, if you're spiraling, to take a pause and chat with yourself and see, is this how I want to live my life? And this last card is going to be the solution to what you need right now and what the medicine is that we all need right now. It's interesting because I think that what this is saying with the Two of Pentacles is that we have a decision to make. Are you going to live in the state of despair, or are you going to choose joy? So this is the decision that's going on right now internally. And you have that choice to make every single day. It's not even every single day, it's every single hour. Every time you get on Instagram, you're making a choice. And so are you going to continue to make the right choice for you to live in an empowered state, in a spiritual state, in a state of faith versus fear, or love versus fear? Or are you just going to give in? Let me pull just one more card for that final message. Yes, the Chariot. I love the Chariot because it has like this yin yang dynamic going on. So the masculine and feminine is represented by the white and the black. But also the Chariot is about moving forward. So how can you move forward in your life right now? How can you take ownership of your emotions? How can you move forward with grace and beauty and a sense of resilience and strength and prominence? You know how the figure here in this Chariot has this sense of power and prominence and is guided by the stars. See how these stars form above in the canopy. So I kind of think that this card is telling you to move forward past all of the hardship, past all of the emotion, past all of the heartbreak. And it's giving the sense of personal power that you have inside of you, the masculine and the feminine. The corrupt masculine or toxic masculine is trying to take over right now and trying to suppress the feminine. But if all of us, no matter what your gender is, can tap into that true feminine, I think you could tap into a different type of ambition and power and forward movement that the chariot's providing instead of living in a space of fear. So that's my message for you. I hope that you resonated with this message. If you want a private tarot reading, definitely click on the information in the description box below and book a session with me. It's a wonderful time to do it because a lot of us are going through a ton right now and using that intuitive spiritual guidance. I don't tell you anything in a private session that you probably already don't know. And I just encourage you to tap into that resource or whatever resource you want. It doesn't have to be a tarot session with me, it could be any spiritual resource right now. So take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.